The young genius disappeared after accusing scientists of destroying the universe. He stood out among his peers with his sharp intellect and deep interest in cosmology and quantum mechanics. His presentations amazed many, and his theories shocked even experienced scientists. But why did this promising young mind suddenly vanish? And what were his thoughts upon returning? You will hear the boldest hypotheses that relate not only to parallel universes but also to the future of humanity. Imagine a boy who at the age of 12 was already reading the works of great scientists. Amazing? What if he didn't just read but also created his own theories that sparked lively interest among scientists worldwide? Max Logan was born on November 14, 2002, in a small town called Bremen, Georgia, USA. He grew up in a loving family with parents who noticed his exceptional abilities. He devoured books on natural sciences and mathematics, while other children were just learning to read. Teachers at school were astonished by his depth of knowledge. He asked questions that even adults sometimes couldn't answer. At the age of 9, Max became the youngest person ever to build a functioning nuclear reactor in his home laboratory. The young genius was interested in everything, from simple physics questions to complex concepts of cosmology. By the age of 12, he was speaking at conferences where his ideas were not just discussed, but considered revolutionary. Many compared Max to Nikola Tesla, another great scientist of his time, who dreamed of a world where everyone had access to free energy. Quite a cool kid, right? While Max Logan's peers were just discovering the basics of physics, Max was presenting his theories on the origin of the universe to society. His first theory became a true sensation, the theory of parallel universes. I invite you to listen closely to the essence of Max's idea. According to his hypothesis, there are millions of worlds, each with its own laws and rules. These worlds can interact with one another, and any action taken by you can influence events in other universes. Interesting, isn't it? Scientists, of course, approached this theory with caution. Many considered it too bold for someone so young. But Max, as always, did not back down. He was confident that reality is much more complex than it seems, and that one day his theories might become part of official science. Let's delve deeper into the theory of parallel universes. Agree? Max Logan claimed that parallel worlds are not just an idea, but a scientific hypothesis worth studying. According to his theory, there are an infinite number of realities where events unfold according to different scenarios. For example, in one universe, you went to work, while in another, you stayed home. And this is where it gets really interesting. Max suggested that universes might interact with each other. This means that a change in one reality could trigger a chain reaction in another. The slightest action, whether it's the decision to eat an apple instead of a pear, could create a new world, and each such world would develop according to its own laws. Max eagerly studied the works of famous physicists, trying to find evidence for this. For him, parallel universes were not just a hypothesis, but a possible answer to many mysteries of the universe. Of course, Max did not expect his ideas to be taken seriously right away. Science is always a quest for answers to complex questions. After all, even the boldest ideas were once considered unrealistic. What if Logan is right, and parallel worlds really do exist? Perhaps while watching this video, you have already moved to another universe? The next theory will also make you question whether you live in your own reality. In 2012, scientists first discovered the Higgs Boson as a result of experiments at the Large Hadron Collider at CERN. CERN, European Organization for Nuclear Research, is the world's largest laboratory for high-energy physics, located on the border of Switzerland and France near Geneva. This discovery was a major breakthrough for science. The Higgs boson is an indivisible particle in modern particle theory. It is responsible for the mechanism by which some other elementary particles acquire mass. But why was this so important to Max? After all, he is interested in the most fundamental questions of reality. The story of the Higgs boson begins with the English physicist Peter Higgs. In 1964, Higgs proposed that there exists a special field with which particles interact to acquire mass. The Higgs boson caught the young thinker's attention because this particle literally influences the structure of the universe. Max hypothesized that if one could learn to control it, it would open the door to a deeper understanding of reality. The Higgs boson could be the key to creating or destroying matter. In his reflections, Max believed that changes in the behavior of the Higgs boson could affect other universes. He hypothesized that manipulating particles might allow for changes in reality or even the destruction of entire universes. What could this lead to? And what did Max want to protect against? Stay tuned. When scientists first discovered the Higgs boson, or as it's also called, the God particle, it shook the world of science. But Max Logan viewed it with concern. He believed that this discovery could be not only a step forward for science, but also a potential threat to all of reality. Max feared that experiments with the Higgs boson could affect the very structure of the entire world. In his eyes, this particle was a kind of fundamental element responsible for the existence of mass in the universe. If scientists began to manipulate the boson too aggressively, it could lead to catastrophic consequences. According to Max's theory, any interference with elementary particles could disrupt the delicate balance upon which our reality is built. He even hypothesized that reckless experiments with the Higgs boson could trigger a so-called vacuum catastrophe, a situation in which the entire world could reset or be destroyed. Max warned that science sometimes races ahead without fully realizing the consequences it may cause. Logan was convinced that the Higgs boson was a sort of key to understanding the entire universe, and handling it required great caution. Based on his parallel universe theory, Max suggested that the particle accelerator had altered the mass of a single electron, destroyed the existing reality, and thrust people into an alternate parallel universe. His warnings sounded like science fiction, but if Max was right, what should we fear next? One of the most captivating and controversial ideas in modern science is the simulation theory. The intrigue of this theory lies in the fact that it questions the very reality in which we live. Imagine that everything around us is not a physical world, but a complex computer program created by highly advanced beings or future humans. As Max studied quantum physics in parallel universes, he began to wonder, what if we are part of a global simulation? His interest in this topic grew when he learned that many scientists and philosophers seriously consider the possibility that reality is an artificial construct. Max suggested that if we live in a simulation, this could explain many mysterious phenomena in the universe, such as quantum entanglement or parallel worlds. He argued that our world might be just one version of reality, created by someone outside for research or entertainment. If simulation theory is correct, your actions and decisions might be controlled by someone running the program. And perhaps you'll never even know it. Do you believe in the simulation theory? You might think that Max Logan only attracted attention with his theories. However, this is far from the truth. He invented a crystal radio. Let me tell you how that happened. At the age of 13, in 2012, Max built a crystal radio with minimal cost. It didn't require batteries, as it used the energy of radio waves, which surround us everywhere. For this device, Logan used the simplest materials: a crystal, some wiring, and an antenna he made by hand. The boy spent just $15 on his invention. But why did he need such a radio? Max sought to demonstrate that even with minimal resources, something useful could be created. He wanted to show people that energy doesn't necessarily have to be obtained in a complicated way. At first glance, this simple device showed how to harness free energy, which greatly inspired the young inventor. Logan saw in this radio the future of autonomous devices that could operate without power sources. The radio itself wasn't revolutionary, as crystal receivers have been known since the early 20th century. However, it became a symbol of how the younger generation could rethink classic inventions. Max speculated how such devices could change the future of energy. His idea was recognized but wasn't widely implemented. To bring it into practical reality, further research was required. What do you think of this teenager's invention? As Max Logan's ideas began to gain popularity, interest in him grew not only among the general public, but also in scientific circles. Scientists initially viewed him skeptically, but soon began inviting Max to conferences. They were curious to hear his unconventional hypotheses. The young genius, speaking before large audiences, was becoming an increasingly visible figure in the world of science. Max participated in the Nexus Global Youth Summit in 2013 and the ECO-SXSW in October 2016 in Austin, Texas. In 2017, he was an honorary guest and speaker at the Global Green and Flaunt Magazine Academy Awards fundraiser in Hollywood and was also invited to the World Science Festival in Brisbane. Why did Max's ideas spark such interest among the scientific community? The answer is simple. Max had an extraordinary ability to explain the most complex things in simple terms. This attracted the attention of not only the general public, but also professionals. His ideas on parallel universes, simulation theory, and manipulating the Higgs boson stirred minds. He confidently claimed that many views on reality were wrong, and that new discoveries could completely change our perception of the world. The scientific community began to listen to his words, despite the fact that some of his theories sounded fantastical. In his hypotheses, they saw not only interesting conjectures, but also potential for real research. After all, the history of science is filled with examples of the most incredible ideas becoming scientific truth. Some scientists even proposed joint research with Max to test his hypotheses in practice. His boldness and willingness to think outside the accepted boundaries of science earned him the respect of his colleagues. Of course, there were also those who criticized his approaches and considered him too unscientific. However, Logan was never afraid of criticism, considering it an essential part of any scientific process. But if everything was going well, what happened to Max, and why did he disappear? Stay tuned. Here's the translation with the requested format. For several years, Max Logan actively promoted his scientific hypotheses and theories, which many considered revolutionary. However, around 2015, he began to appear less frequently in the public space. This was due to several factors. Firstly, his ideas regarding parallel universes and the simulation of reality evoked mixed reactions. Despite the interest in his hypotheses from the general public, many scientists found his ideas too fantastical and unscientific. Secondly, like many geniuses, Logan faced enormous pressure. His youth and popularity led to sky-high expectations. There is an opinion that Max may have become disillusioned with how his inventions and ideas were received by society. One such example was the crystal radio. In Max's opinion, this device could have been significant for the future. However, the scientific community did not take his ideas seriously. This was one of the turning points when Logan felt that his work was not properly recognized. In April 2020, he wrote on Facebook, "I love creating things." This was his last activity on social media. Max's disappearance from the scientific scene only fueled the intrigue around him. Many began to theorize and speculate about why Max had stepped out of the spotlight. Perhaps he decided to dedicate himself to further research away from public attention. Or maybe he encountered obstacles that seemed insurmountable. What do you think happened to the young genius? And why did he disappear? Max Logan, the 13-year-old teenager who gained fame in 2016 for creating an energy harvesting device, disappeared for about 6 years. However, there is no evidence that Logan went missing or was in hiding. In a video published by his school Tahoe Expedition Academy, he can be seen giving a presentation for graduates in 2021, and his school also posted an article about him on its website. In a TikTok video published on December 17, 2022, journalist and communications expert Richard Green said he had spoken with Logan's mother and he is very much alive. It has been revealed that Logan is alive, studying at a university in the United States and developing a new patent. The young genius, as before, is unafraid to challenge established theories. At 13, Max confidently stated that CERN had destroyed the universe and moved humanity to the nearest parallel universe, creating the Mandela effect. This is when some people remember things differently from others. What will he say now? What will his new statements be? The story of Max Logan is an example of the power of the human mind and the pursuit of knowledge. His experience reminds us of the importance of never stopping in the search for answers that could help humanity move forward. Maybe Max's story will inspire you to make your own discoveries and set new goals. Share your thoughts in the comments. If you are also interested in amazing discoveries that change people's consciousness and want to tell others about them, we have great news. We are looking for talented people to help us create awesome videos. If you can edit, voice over videos in different languages, or write creative scripts, we'd love to work with you. Message our Telegram bot. The link is in the description.